This is the Nothing Ear Open. And unfortunately, I can't talk about it. I got this device a couple of weeks back and the NDA basically expires today, but I've been asked by Nothing to release this only on the October 4th, which is when it releases, or closer to the release date in the region I live in. So I've got an entire review ready, waiting to go. I just haven't made it public yet. You're gonna have to wait for that one, but I think it'll be worth the wait. You should probably hit subscribe because there's a couple of things in my review I don't think you're gonna find in other reviews. It's an audio focused channel. You kind of expect it. But what I can talk about without getting into the specifics of this thing is the form factor itself. Why on earth would you buy this sort of thing? Actually, there's 3 good reasons why you shouldn't buy open style earbuds, and then again I can think of 3 reasons you should want to buy these as well. Let's start with the shouldn't and work our way up. First of all, there's 2 kinds of sound producing devices, right? You've got things that block your ears and things that do not block your ears. So a pair of speakers, for example, they don't block your ears. But if you jam those speakers right up against your ear, that'll do the trick. That's headphones essentially. And then if you take that one step further, in-ear style monitors, right? So something like this goes right up in your ear. Now, just to be clear, the drivers don't actually enter your ear, they're outside, but they do seal your ear, and that's the important thing. This style was originally for musicians and studio work and whatnot, and the idea was to isolate you from the outside world. So you cut out any extraneous noise so you can hear better what you should be hearing better. Usually a backing track, your own vocals, that sort of thing. But for personal music listening, what that means is you're isolating outside sound. That means there's less interference with music, and that means there's higher resolution of music. Sealing your ears off is the easiest and cheapest way to get higher, genuinely higher resolution music. Forget all that tech, do that right first. And as you can imagine, open style earbuds, they don't do that. So forget high res music there. The other important thing is sealing your ear canal in general, because it allows you to have a good level of, or meaningful level of, active noise cancellation. Without a sealed canal, well, you can't really have that. Not completely true, maybe there's a way to implement it to some degree of meaning, but that requires a lot of R&D, and most of the companies coming up with open style earbuds are not really audio companies, so they don't have that kind of R&D budget for this sort of thing. And finally, if you want to save your ears, you probably won't want to buy these. If you listen to a lot of music in noisy environments, the problem with something that doesn't close off your ear canals is if you're listening to music, you're going to have to pump it loud enough that it overcomes the outside sound, which means now you've got a noisy environment and loud music all being pumped into your ear. Generally not a good idea for the long run. That's 3 good reasons why you shouldn't buy open style earbuds or anything of that nature. However, the same can be flipped around as well. Like, what if people don't want noise cancelling? They just want the ultimate transparency. Well, then you probably want to get something like this Nothing Ear Open that literally doesn't do anything. It allows everything outside in. And the reason for that is just awareness. If you're in a busy city and you go for a run, you want to be aware of traffic around you. If you've got a toddler running amok in the house, you want to be aware of what they're doing while you're going about your work. And actually, a female viewer pointed this out once. If you're worried about your personal safety but you still want to go out for a run a little later in the evening or a little earlier in the morning, then it turns out this is a big concern. And for that, again, open style earbuds are the best transparency there is. And I know what you're saying. Immediately you're saying, why not just go with something that has a good transparency mode? AirPods Pro, Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra, all amazing transparency modes. Why not just do that? Because reason number 2, a lot of people just don't like things going to the ear. People don't like penetration. Yeah, I said that. Don't look at me. People also don't like chocolate, so who knows? Look, it takes all kinds to make the world, and I don't make the rules, but the fact is, none of us are used to having things in the ear. I've gotten used to it because I like the benefits. I like that ANC. I like that extra sound quality. And I've gotten used to what is essentially an inconvenience. A lot of people are not willing to make that compromise. That's fine. For those people, this is way nicer. It's just so nice to not have anything plugging your ears. And you'll still get your music and you'll still get your podcasts and everything you really need, as long as you don't care about that high resolution stuff and as long as you don't care about noise cancelling. Which brings me to reason number 3. There is a sense of openness when you hear these. So if you're listening to a movie or something that has a lot of sound that comes from around me, then generally speaking, I prefer speakers. Speakers, good speakers placed well in a reasonably treated room is just an incredible, even stereo is an incredible experience. And IEMs and headphones try and get you there, but oftentimes they don't. These also don't, but they get you a little closer to that feeling. So while the music quality is not that high, but if you're in a quiet room and if you've got these on and you're watching your favorite TV serial or whatever, it's amazing. Just the feeling of not having your ear blocked. And these are light enough that you forget them. Most of these kind of things are light enough that you forget you're even wearing them. And you kind of feel like the sound is coming from somewhere around you. It's not surround sound, it's not accurate surround, it's none of that. But you get that feeling that you're just sitting there and some speakers around you are making that noise. And there are certain sounds, ambient sounds, that kind of do feel like they're ambient sounds. Something that's a little bit harder to implement with in-ear style monitors or headphones unless they're tuned very well for it. That is actually a nice part of having something like this. So there you have it. 3 reasons why you should not buy them if you want good ANC, if you want actually higher res music with good isolation, and of course, if you happen to listen to a lot of music in noisy environments, then for your ear health, for your hearing loss over time, you probably don't want to buy something like this. You want to get something like this. However, if you don't like the discomfort of these and if you want that transparency and you don't necessarily use it in a very loud environment, so you're not bombarding your ears, but you do want to be aware of everything around you and you just like the feeling of not having something in your ear, well, then something like this is excellent. And I can completely see why, while the audiophile is going for the in-ear style monitor or the headphone, the regular user who values comfort and convenience over all the little things that don't matter to them would go for something like this. And I gotta say, there's something there. Even the audiophile in me is thinking twice about that. However, if you want to know more about this, you're gonna have to tune in on October 4th. If it's already past the October 4th, then check out the channel. The video will be up. It's already ready. I just have to click go, which I probably have at this point. And remember, if you're a member, you could win one of these. Yeah, YouTube members and Patreons just get giveaways. 3 times a year, twice a year, something like that. I just pick one name at a random and I say, hey, you've won something. Where do I send it? And I send you something like this. So become one. It's not very expensive and you might enjoy it. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Stay happy, stay peaceful, stay colorful. Namaste.